I know I do a lot and I know I'm going to be one of those very, very profitable companies, but my kids are going to be my legacy.
Nyandia's money story is rooted in culture and identity. We talk about the effects of her recent engaged talk.
I don't have a solid relationship with my mother. For so long, I've not actually had
What do you mean
any.
by a solid relationship?
My mom threw a knife at me.
Being diagnosed with an autoimmune illness, she's been on painkillers every day of her life since 2010.
It is such a detrimental thing and people don't understand it. It's like a game of trust. It's I tell you I'm unwell, you believe it or you don't. Can you imagine an employer? You're not sick, we can't see. What are you talking about? You can't see. I woke up, sometimes I can't walk.
She's gone back to shags twice after failing and running out of money.
Me and my software engineering degree, we're in shags, milking cows and milking goats. Like, I got tired.
Tried different ventures and is currently on her fourth.
All those things. So my friend opens a butchery. He opens a butchery called Zulu Meat in
This is proper COVID, right?
Muthiga. Yes.
Showing her marketing prowess with Zulu Meats, Nyandia grows the small butchery to a point where it was earning up to 70,000 shillings a day.
We used to do choma and mutura. We make mutura cool in Nairobi. I send influencers a ton of mutura. So everybody's talking about mutura from Zulu Meat in Nairobi. On Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. It becomes big. Then the guy one day wakes up and takes away my rights to socials. That was the beginning of his downfall.
In her story, she warns about making long-term goals with short-term people.
I opened my first startup. First of all, it was the dumbest I've ever done because I opened it with a boyfriend.
Did you ever make any money with that company?
No,
So
not with that.
And the painful lessons she learned about loans when buying a car. Nyandia is big in marketing, big in AI, and this is her money story.
Hey guys, this is Barack from Financially Incorrect. I am here to say thank you so much for the 50k plus people who have subscribed to Financially Incorrect. We really do appreciate you. When we crossed 50k, we had a nice, small, intimate party at our offices, and we celebrated this milestone. I have convinced the powers that be that if we can get to 100k by December, we will throw a big party to celebrate with all of you guys. And now we have 3 different segments for you guys to watch. There's Financially Incorrect Business Edition, Financially Incorrect Uganda Edition, and Financially Incorrect, the regular Kenyan edition. So please do, if you like our content, subscribe. If we get to 100k by December, we will throw the biggest party in East Africa. So please do subscribe. Hey everybody, welcome back to Financially Incorrect. I am your host Barack. It's a Friday and we have a money story for you. Today's money story is from a very vocal, non-conventional person on the Twitter streets, on LinkedIn, and big in the AI space as well in the country. But before we get into her story, let me just read a couple of comments from a previous episode, Casey's episode that went up, I think, a week or 2 ago. Actually, by the time this goes up, probably like 3 weeks. But just a couple of comments. Casey's parents are the baddest, man. That is from Arnold, 4805. Then James Macharia says, this kid is different. I hate concerts and events, but I just feel like I owe him 1 or 2 shows because of his story. Daisy again says, shout out to your parents for sure. This is my best so far, at least someone around my age who I can relate with in terms of what's working for me real time. Fantastic. Then someone says, it would be really cool to hear the story of Peng from his early days at Alchemist to building Hustle Sasa. Yeah, actually, maybe we look for him and see whether he's willing to talk about his money story and see what that's about. Anyway, before I read the bio of the person who was on here today, I'll also tell you we had our first community event. When we were shooting this, it happened the weekend before. It was in partnership with Val, and we were talking about short-term real estate investments and what the opportunities for those are. I think the episode should have gone up by the time this episode is airing. It should be the episode just before this one. So please have a look at that. Please watch it. It was really insightful. We talked about economic bubbles and whether we're in a bubble at the moment and the things to look out for to determine whether you're in a bubble or not. How much the market is potentially growing in Kenya, both for residential and tourists. So it's a really cool episode. You should check it out. And then, of course, Val have some really interesting opportunities for you to invest in short-term rentals. And their unique proposition in how they've set up, especially, I'm forgetting its name, especially the way they've set up Divine to compete against other hotels. So an interesting episode to check out. So I have Nyandia Gachago, who is a chartered marketer and the founder of CEO of Minty Lime, an AI-centric creative agency transforming how brands connect with audiences. She is a respected speaker, trainer, and digital and social activist with over a decade's experience in marketing, branding, and public relations across Africa. She has led campaigns for leading brands, trained thousands in AI and digital strategy, and champions the use for technology for economic and social impact. Welcome to Financially Incorrect.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. First of all, I read this and I was, because of the episode that went out this week, Mutoki's episode, people were doubting whether he walked 30 kilometers. So I'm reading this and I'm like, wait, you said you've trained thousands. So I want to make sure, you've trained thousands.
I have,
and it's not just CAP,
No, because I've done things with African Union, online trainings. There's one training where we had about 20 African countries, multiple women joining. So we do that quite often. Also, my trainings, most of them are catered to by clients. And they're free to public. So guys really just come and are curious about it.
Yeah, so genuinely you have trained thousands.
Yeah,
okay.
I have.
No.
But I have a goal. I have a goal to make it to the tens of thousands at some point.
Right.
Because I really want to balance the competition ground. Because I feel like right now it's a little uneven. If you're not figuring out how to implement AI, then you're at a negative advantage.
Yeah.
And I really want us to compete on the same, on the same level.
Yeah.
It's the only way it's fun. Yeah.
All right. We were chatting before we started, and you were telling me how you have two kids.
Yeah.
I think you told me a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And you're talking about how expensive kids are.
Kids are expensive, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, there's the saying, mtoto anakuja na sahani yake. Has that not been your lived experience?
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
You sahani, you work. I think sahani is the opportunities God starts giving you once you have children. It's like when people get married. My friend says if you have like a wedding, there's a way God blesses that union. So that you guys don't struggle. You see, apparently, peer marriage, you can sahani yake. But sahani, my friend, you work for it. It's hard. It's a lot of hard work. Yeah.
So, do you feel like you got more opportunities after you got kids than you had before?
Yeah, and I also
with
got
your work
smarter.
ethic being the same, so to speak.
Yeah, and I also got smarter.
You got smarter.
Yeah, there's just a thing, man, about kids that create a bit more urgency. So now you have to hustle or you have to hustle. Right. Option.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
What will it take for you to achieve financial success for your kids?
For my kids, oh my gosh, I don't know. I always say this. My kids, I hope my kids are my legacy. I know I do a lot, and I know I'm going to be one of those very, very profitable companies, but my kids are going to be my legacy. It's because I think there's a lot of kindness that is lacking in the world nowadays, in this era of digital and social media and artificial intelligence and deepfakes and all these million things. So I look at it from that point of view. In as much as I can afford them loads, best education, travel, nini, all these other things, it's down to who they will be as individuals that will make me truly see that I invested something that made sense for them. Yeah.
Okay. It's very noble.
Yeah. I mean, we have to be in service of others. If you're not in service of something, then your time here is just wasted.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you, right? Two questions, which have nothing to do with money, nothing to do with the podcast.
Yeah.
What's a small yet seemingly insignificant thing that makes you happier than it probably should?
Plants and flowers, and I for some reason, like I don't know where it stems from, but when we were growing up, I grew up in something called a plot. I don't know if you guys know what's a plot. A plot is singles on this side, singles on this side,
right.
A corridor that leads you to the main toilet and bathroom that is shared. So my first stages of life were in a plot. Right now, not that, but at some point. And my dad, even in that really sort of poverty of, it was poverty, not poverty of sort, it was poverty, used to keep plants, even in the house, like the crawlers, nini. So for some reason, I really love plants. I think that's where it comes from. I thought about it like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I think it stems from that.
Yeah.
So for me, green spaces
Just make you happy.
they do something for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. She has a flu, by the way.
I do, sadly, I do.
Yeah, and if I don't have any episodes like for the next 3 weeks, it's because of you. By the way, if after this there's no more episodes, it's because of the flu I got from Nyandia. Anyway, next one, right?
Yeah.
Assuming you're at a friend's house, right? What's the right amount of time to wait before getting up to grab water or a snack when you're watching a TV show or a movie?
But if they're your friend, you should be comfy, no?
Are you?
Yeah, you should.
Are you like 100% comfortable at your friends' houses? Like you?
I don't even go to people's houses in general.
See?
I don't. I'm always working. I'm a workaholic, so I don't generally like go to people's houses.
Yeah.
But when people come to mine, I want them to be comfortable. Also, it matters if people have kids or not. You know, when people have houses with people with kids are different than houses with people who don't have kids.
Different now in flexibility.
Yeah, and also the things you can do, the things you can talk. Like the things you can just come mouth off in a house of people with kids. Then now the kid is repeating it. Like Juicy, I said, shit. Then my 2-year-old is like, shit. Then now I'm like, gosh. Yeah, then I have to be like aware.
Yeah.
Because my older one knows not to say such things.
Right.
Now the smaller you get. So it's different. It's different. Girls also are different. Houses for girls are different. I don't know if it's the same for dudes.
I don't know because I have girls in my house.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to hear what you mean by
like
different.
dudes,
Right.
like you going to his house as
Right.
boys.
Yeah.
I think it's different. Also, the way girls, myself and like my friend, when she comes to my house, is different.
I see.
The girls are very free. I don't know if it's the same thing. Like my friend can come to my house, go to my bar, do whatever. I don't care. Even go pick my perfumes. I'm not like that particular about things. Right? Yeah, but I don't know if it's the same for men.
I couldn't do it. Let me say I'm uncomfortable in people's houses. The only people's
Same.
houses that I am comfortable in is my brothers. My 3 brothers' houses, like they are like I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
But anyone else's house, I'm like a sterile, you know, like
like umeko
no,
hapo,
yeah,
don't
like
move.
I will not stand up. I won't eat. Let me say, if you don't even offer me anything, like I will be in the house and I will leave and I
You
won't
won't even ask
I won't
questions.
touch a damn thing.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm the same way. I rarely go to
Yeah.
people's houses, and but I invite people a lot to my house.
Okay.
So I've invested in making my house a hospitable place as well.
I don't invite people at my house. And we or rather we but my wife does, but I run away or hide or anyway. But
okay.
interesting. So my answer to this question would be like there's no amount of I would not ask someone for a snack.
Until they offer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if
makes
they
sense.
didn't like
And Nisawa.
yeah, like
it's not that
I'd
deep.
watch the whole
Ni sawa.
film or whatever the case is and
Aki, then you're cohering over there.
Yeah, it's fine.
From a 10-hour film. Lord of the Rings. Run 1, 2.
absolutely fine. Like, and even like when people bring out snacks and like put them out on the table, like take something like I'll take like 1 or 2 and then
Aki, and then you're done.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I
That's
don't know.
nice.
A lot
That's
of
good
discomfort.
manners. That's
Anyway,
very
okay.
good manners.
You have or gave a really deep, vulnerable talk.
Yeah.
Like I think a month ago.
Yeah. About?
On Engage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
What were the repercussions of that?
Yeah.
With your family.
My family knew. The only person who didn't know was my mom.
She didn't know that you were doing it.
No. But my dad knew.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had called my dad and I had told him, I'm going to do this. I hope I do it with your blessing, but I'm going to do this because it's important. And I've watched so many engages and conversations and nobody's talking about it. Yeah. So like we talk about toxic, we talk about, what do you call them? Deadbeats. Non-stop deadbeat dads.
Right.
But nobody is having a conversation about how Black and brown moms can also be detrimental, especially to their daughters.
Right.
So I told him I was going to have this conversation. And I don't have a solid relationship with my mother. For so long, I've not actually had
What do you mean
any.
by a solid relationship?
Like, the first time I noticed it was not normal was when I would see like my friends calling their moms over anything and everything. And the moms would come and I've hugged them. Like, I was like, wait, hold up. This happens. So that was the first time I was like, there's something missing on my side. So then I knew there was some backstory to it. I've not been someone who shares anything with my mom as well. Since I was in school, Nini, never.
Okay. So you didn't think it important to sort her blessing. And since then, have you spoken?
No, let me
You're
not
dying.
say-
You're
Let me not say that.
You're dying here.
Oh my God, I know. But no, I didn't. She reached out,
After.
yes, but she didn't watch it. Her sisters watched it, called her. But I don't even think they watched it. I think they saw bits and
The
pieces, of
general
it.
vibe.
General overview. They didn't
Yeah.
watch it because the story was told with so much grace and humor and all these other things, but they didn't see that. So for them, it was more of to react. And some of them reacted.
Yeah.
They went to
What's the
YouTube
harshest-
and started insulting me.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Like some of your relatives? Oh, that's
But very specific people who are close to my mom.
right.
Spiritual ones. It's always the religious types. Always.
Okay. All right. That's but your dad was fine with it, and the rest of your family members were like,
It
cool,
was
get it
so
done.
good
Yeah.
because after that I went home and I had a conversation with my dad, and my dad has his own sort of engaged story, mine with his dad. His dad was a horrible person to
Right,
him,
right.
really bad.
Right.
So it for the first time I think, and my dad is 65. He was able to open up and talk about things his father has done to him as a child.
Okay.
And it was because of my engaged story. And you could tell even this 60-year-old man is in pain when he recounts everything that's been done to him, made to live in his mother's upbringing, all these other weird shit, man. Weird, horrible shit. Being parentified, my dad was parentified a lot.
Parentified.
Yes, he was
Or
a
made a
parentified
parent
child.
as a child. Right.
Yes,
right.
he was parentified a lot. How his dad hid his high school. He was called into a national school. He hid his letter, forced him to go somewhere so that he can go where his mother comes from, somewhere in Othaya, so that he doesn't go home. He doesn't want to see him. Just some wild shit.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, the fact that he's able in his 60s to open up and have that conversation and express that pain.
Yeah.
For me, it was like,
It was good. I think for me, your story was wild when you talked about, I think a knife was thrown at you, if I'm not wrong. And I was like, yeah, that's
that's bad. And that
that's
is like,
intense.
that is
Yeah.
the mildest. Like it gets way worse. But yeah, I got my period. I went, I was so scared. Can you imagine? Like, why are you even scared to, if anything, see, that's all you should do.
Right.
Is tell your mom and then she'd walk you through. So you have all these things in your head where you're like, she's going to walk me through, she's going to buy me Panadol because I'm having cramps and all these other things. Oh, no. My mom threw a knife at me.
Yeah.
She told me, go now, get pregnant or some shit. Kikuyu is wild.
Yeah.
It's really bad. And yeah, that was...
Well, I guess you made it. And I wanted to understand this for my context, because you said you went back home. Are you, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but are your
No.
parents together?
No.
Oh, okay. So when
Yeah.
you say you go home, like you went to your
Yeah,
dad's.
but
I see.
this shit is wild. One lives here, the other one's house is over there.
Oh, like you can see.
So it's totally chaotic. Because even if you go here, this
Yeah.
one will see.
that you're there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's insane. It's crazy, man. These older folks, yeah, something else.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've already given us a bit of a setting of I guess
Yeah.
where your childhood was in terms of it being in a plot. Money wise, what did you pick up from that?
I
that space.
don't know. The one thing that I picked up from my parents that I kept saying I'll never find myself in, our parents had access to loans. If you have a parent who is a teacher or has anything to do with like TSC, things like that, they had access to good loans. So that's how I think that age, the older Gen Xs and the older millennials were able to do so much, as opposed to where we're struggling. So the one thing that I said I wouldn't do was take loans, because I could see just how bad loans used to stress them. It really used to stress them a lot. So for me, I was like,
and the consciousness or the understanding of stress, is
Yeah.
it something that you've come to realize as an adult that was stress, or even as a kid you
no.
could see that they would
you
talk
could
about
see-
it and they
you
would?
could see, because even like you were a burden and it was made, and it was often communicated, things like na sikulangi lunch, sijaikula lunch juu yenu, things like that. And then you understand just how bad that situation is. And you can see the stress, the way, if you have those moms who pray and cry and wail, you would hear it. And you would know this was really like a bad situation. Especially then I learned there were things called top-up loans. I still don't know what they are, but it's something that was common if you're in Mwalimu Sacco and things like that.
Essentially, taking a second. I would assume taking a
I
second
would
loan
think so. Yeah,
before
to
you.
cover. So I was like, no, and they needed it, like they needed it for fees, for Nini. They needed it, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
Then I grow up, and then I realize whenever you're hearing a lot of these super wealthy people talk, they're like, never use your money to invest. They actually like use loans to actually propagate further into their businesses.
Yeah.
Like there's this guy who's in court right now with his wife. He's the founder of Equity Bank, and he took a loans due of 400 million or something. And you're like, what? So there are people who actually do understand how to work loans. But me, I was like, Asha, no.
It's
I
not-
don't.
it's not-
Yeah, like
yeah.
it really, really terrified me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in your nuclear family setup, in the setup that you were born into, does the family progress and move from the plot to what's that progression like? And
Yeah, so my parents bought land in Nanyuki. So my dad's dad refused to give him land. And being the firstborn, it's expected, right? I think it's African culture where the firstborn son is always given land. Especially if your grandfather is someone with a lot of land, which my grandfather is, I think. I still don't know to date. But my dad was struggling. We were living in the plot, and the plot was not far from my grandfather's place. Like, we could walk to my grandfather's. It's long, but you could. It's like a 10-bob matatu back then. Wait, I've lost my train of thought.
You're talking about how your family progressed from the plot.
So my dad decided to buy land very far from his father. So everybody else, my aunties, uncles, Nini, they are from Nyeri onwards to Nairobi that way. Us, we moved back. We went to Nanyuki. So my dad bought land in Laikipia with my mom, and then we built there. So that is where they are. That is also why I think they've refused to separate camps.
Because they both bought land.
They're like Siwaji.
Yeah.
I think for them it's like their blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
So one has a house over there, like 100 meters.
But technically it's the same plot of land.
It's the same, yeah. It's like 10 acres.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's vast enough. They could have separated. One could have gone to the corner,
Yeah.
but they're like, no.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So when do you begin to deal with money consciously?
Guy, you know what's sad? I think this is very sad. I have had money, I have lost money, I have moved back home twice, starting from scratch. But still then, I was still not understanding Ninini, what's happening, what is the money thing here that is not landing. Until, to be quite honest, last month, I sat with...
Last month, like we're in September.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're saying August 2025.
Oh, yeah, in my 33 years of living.
Yes.
33 is when I have sat with someone who understands money. I sat with a lady called Val. She's from a program called Africa's Pocket. I sat with her, and then now she was able to take me through everything. And now at least I know where to hide money, what to do. But it took so long. Because I didn't even know there were people like wealth managers. I didn't know things like that existed. So I knew Mansa X. I could hide money in Mansa X. I could do these things. But then you see, you also are not doing it from a point of knowing. A lot of it is either from peer pressure, because you're seeing guys in Mansa X and Sanlam and Nini. But then now, it took me sitting with Val for me to understand money way better. Way better.
That's incredible, first of all.
Yeah,
that
it's
it took
crazy.
you that long.
Oh, yeah.
But so I want us to work our way back to this point.
Yeah.
But if I can take you back to when do you start making your own money? Do you ever come into pocket money of some sort from your folks?
No.
Or
17, I moved out of my parents' house at 17.
you were in Form 3 at that time, or Form 3, Form 4?
No, I was in campus.
You're at 17.
Oh, yeah. I graduated software engineering and networking at 20.
Okay.
My mom took us to school early. She couldn't afford daycare, or she couldn't afford, house girls.
Right.
So the minute I think we could walk, so because of that, my brothers and I are people who finished school very early.
So by 16, you're done.
Yes, 16, I finished high school.
Okay.
I finished high school, waited kidogo, joined campus.
Okay.
I started campus in Nyeri, then I moved to, it's Kenya Methodist University, then I moved to Nairobi. So at 17, I realized that my parents either could not afford to give me pocket money, I couldn't hostel, nini. So I started hosting karaoke. That was when I used to make 1,500 a session, and a session was once a week. Then that way I could make hostel fee, I could make a few things here and there. Okay. Yeah, that was my first now.
When you
I
start,
have something. Yeah.
Okay. But your parents cater to your university fees?
Partially.
Partially?
Yes, partially.
Who covers the other bit?
Myself. So
Okay.
I moved to Nairobi. I moved to Nairobi because I got sick. I started getting sick, and Karen in Karen Hospital in Nyeri could not figure out what it was. So I sent to Karen Hospital in Nairobi. Because of that, I deferred a semester to come and try and figure out what was wrong. What was wrong, I was diagnosed with lupus back then. It's an autoimmune illness. Later, we figured out it's not particularly lupus, it's still an autoimmune illness, yeah? So I defer a semester, I come to Nairobi. So my dad is pissed that I've moved to Nairobi. I moved without their blessing. So I start getting delays in school fees. So I look for a job. So like some agency babe through Likiodera. I don't know if anyone knows Likiodera. Likiodera is one of the OGs of entertainment in Nairobi. I knew about Likiodera because I had done Miss University. I was my Miss University. So whenever you now needed to come together as all universities in Kenya and compete for the overall Miss University, that is a franchise owned. I don't know if it's still owned by him, but it was owned by Likiodera.
Okay.
So Likiodera gets me a gig with Samsung. Just is these girls you see, promo girls.
The brand.
Yeah, so I became a brand ambassador for Samsung.
Yeah.
And that's how now I started making a bit of money. I used to make like 45K, but then he used to take 20%. Nikki, oh my God.
Was that an agency fee?
I was so
that
pissed. Yeah, it was like, that's what he used to, I don't know if it's a management fee, I don't know what he calls it.
Right.
But he used to take 20% of, and I think it's common. Back then, I didn't know that was a thing. I was so pissed about it. But yeah, that allowed me to like at least start figuring out how to pay fees. When I resumed school, I moved to what we call online distance learning, or DLM. It was something like that. So I used to do just Gioni classes during the day. I'm working for Samsung promos and I did that for like 6 months. Yeah. And that way I was able to facilitate where my dad or my mom could send me something, I would top up and pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and just to make this clear, because you mentioned your folks weren't in agreement for your move to Nairobi.
Yeah.
Them not meeting the fees
didn't
have anything to do with that. It was more about they didn't have the money
both.
to cover.
It was
both. It was a mixture of both.
It was a mixture of both. And also, for the longest time, my parents didn't understand what my illness was. And I don't know if it's a thing when people don't understand illnesses or they don't know something, they tend to just denounce it. Either unajifanya or what are you, attention seeking or, something of the sort. So I think there was like a lot of things going on there.
And I don't mean to pry per se,
No, it's okay.
But what were the symptoms that one may think that you are?
Oh yes.
Like you're
Let's
faking
tell
this.
you, the ghetto thing about autoimmune illnesses is that they are not physical. You cannot see them. That is what's worse. If you think about it, even with Lorna Irongo, unless she was having maybe like she was admitted in hospital and maybe she starts getting puffy. Think of Selena Gomez, she has lupus. You cannot really tell. You can't tell. They're called invisible illnesses. So nobody gets it. So they either think you're faking something, but I woke up, sometimes I can't walk.
You can't walk.
You cannot. Like you're in such horrific pain. I've been on painkillers since 2010. Every single day of my life, I'm on painkillers because it is such a detrimental thing and people don't understand it. And that's what's horrible about it. Yeah, so I was talking with a friend of mine called Cynthia. She has something similar to what I have. And And we were like, it's so hard because people don't get it. It's also it's like a game of trust. It's I tell you I'm Manuel, you believe it or you don't. So can you imagine? Can you imagine an employer?
Yeah.
They where you're not sick, we can't see. What are you talking about? You can't see. So to them, it's very odd. It's very odd. It's
So the
one of
symptoms
those-
can it's a
Meanwhile,
vast
Ndani.
array of
Oh,
things.
yeah,
It can
yeah.
be from numbness, intense pain.
Everything, intense pain, migraines. Sometimes I have to have like the blinds completely locked because of the headaches,
Right,
nosebleeds.
right.
It also is what destroyed my eyes. I never used to wear spectacles. But guys, like it's such a phenomenon. Until Juicy is when it was discovered. It's prevalent with black women and women in general. Because women don't, interestingly, this is what was said, it's because women don't have outlets. It's one of those, it's such a psychological thing because there's no...
Or like
they
venting.
they don't have outlets. So apparently that now affects you internally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what? That's wild. But
Okay.
apparently that's one of the reasons why.
how it happens. Okay, that's intense. First of all,
Yeah.
I believe you. Let me start with that. I believe you.
Thanks.
Okay, so that we've gone to the stage where essentially you're figuring out your fees. You're working for Samsung as a brand ambassador of
Yeah.
some sort.
Yeah.
Your folks are covering your fees to some extent.
Yeah.
So what happens after you finish uni?
I finish uni. I travel to Meru, which is the main campus for Kenya Methodist University. I talk to the vice chancellor and I convince him to give me a job at the university. So I tell him I don't mind studying as an intern, casual. I'll just do something. So that's how I start working at the university.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the job?
I'm in IT.
Okay, so you're working in the IT department.
I'm in IT
essentially.
department. So I started as an intern in IT. Then I went to a casual. Then I went to full-on employee at the ICT. Yeah.
What's the
IT
payment
department.
scale there, and what's your living situation like?
Of course, internship. I think it was what? I can't even remember. But it was not. I think it's like 6K a month when you're an intern. It's something of that sort. Then I get to casual. I think I was making 36K a month. Then now as a full-on employee, I was making, is it 70 something per month. Then after tax, I know I used to take like 54 after tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do with your money at that point?
Paying bills. I was helping support my younger brother. And then now hospital bills and medicine. Because at some point, insurance, I was insured by my mother. But as you know, outpatient, whenever
Right.
it's very small, it's very little.
Right.
Like I remember one time I used my annual outpatient with one go at, where was I? Is it at Aga Khan? Because there was a specific test that I needed to be done, a brain test. And it was 55 G's, Quisha, gone out.
Wait.
Now from there, you figure it out.
You have to pay.
Oh, yeah.
And how much? Even this is either from the past and even now.
Yeah.
How, because of what you have and because
Yeah.
we talk about being on painkillers every day.
Yeah.
How much does that take for the medicine and
Oh, it's a
including
lot.
possible doctor appointments and things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Any appointment with my doctor is like 5K. First appointment only. You've not factored in being on meds. There's a painkiller called Rizact that is for migraines. It's only for migraines. One tablet is 500 bob.
One tablet.
One tablet is 500 bob. So you can imagine just how crazy that gets. And then the bad thing about a lot of these medications is that they have side effects. So then you have to take meds to cover the side effects. So like there's like most painkillers are not good for your gut.
Yes,
for
the
acidity.
lining, yeah.
So now you have to take a medicine like Nexium 40 mg. That's like 280 bob a tablet. So it's just it's God's grace, to be quite honest. It is absolute God's grace. It's very expensive to have an illness, especially, and that's why sometimes we get angry. People ask, why are you always in Mandamana? It's because of things like this. Because technically, I've paid so much tax. I should be able to have the government do something for me in a public hospital.
Right.
But I can't. I'm still paying taxes and I have to pay private doctors and private hospitals. And it gets very frustrating.
Right.
But it's very intense. And I thank God that I can now afford it. Because for a while there, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't.
And this I'm asking out of ignorance and to understand for the insurance company. So when you're getting insured, do they consider this a pre-existing condition, so then they don't cover it?
They cover it. They just don't cover it well.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have to declare pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's fraud.
Yeah.
You'll land in trouble if
Yeah.
you don't. So when you declare, first of all, your costs for insurance goes up. You don't pay normal, regular insurance. It's almost like an older person. You've seen those guys who are in their 50s trying
who
to
are
get
paying
covered,
like
and it's
100.
expensive.
Yeah.
So now for us, it gets more expensive, and then you just get less than what anyone
Average
else would
person
be.
would get.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you work, essentially you're working in the IT department.
Yeah.
When do you begin to shift to the marketing space? How long does it take?
So guys, so whoever is the head at Kemu Nairobi realizes that I have a knack for people and solutions, and he tries to move me to marketing. But in a way, I refuse because I want to be. I did software, so I like IT is my thing. I love it. I love how it feels fixing things and coding and doing all of these things. So we get to a contention where I stick to digital. So Instagram, I think, had just been created. This is 2012, 2013. So we start onboarding students from Facebook, Instagram. I think we were among the first people to now start onboarding, and it was students from everywhere, South Sudan, a lot of students. So I discover I have a knack for that. So I was able to understand Meta as a platform before it was Meta, way before most people started to. But then, even then, I opened my first startup.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the first one?
It was an IT company.
Building websites.
No.
Oh.
We wanted tenders. That is everyone's first startup. Nataka kushinda tender.
Okay.
It was, we wanted tenders.
Was it successful at all in any way?
No. First of all, it was the dumbest I've ever done because I opened it with a boyfriend. It's so stupid.
Was it stupid because you opened it with a boyfriend?
I think
or
that
was it
was
stupid
it.
because it was not a good business decision?
No, it was a very, very wise decision. It's who I opened it with. Because now, if you guys are in a mood, then now nobody is signing the docs that need to be signed.
Yeah.
It's just foolishness. But I think it's one of those things you can only learn by doing.
Did you ever make any money with that company?
No,
So
not with that. I'm sorry.
what did this guy do? Now I have to ask. What did he do to you?
We're friends today, by the way. But he was such an emotional. It was just wild. Akijam, amejam. He wouldn't give me the company documents. It was just BS for so long, man. We were young. It's just immaturity if you think about it. It just boils down to immaturity. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the first startup. All right.
Yeah.
So you've opened up this first startup, which isn't quite well.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And then you're shifting now and you're starting to do digital marketing at Kemu and onboarding students. Let me ask from performance point of view for the institution, what difference does it make to begin onboarding students digitally as opposed to
Big difference. Because we had, Kemu, I don't know if it's still the same way today, but Kemu had a big influx of international students, specifically South Sudanese, Congolese. There was such an influx. Even here in Nairobi, there were so many students who are not Kenyan. And that was not very common unless you were like in USI or Strathmore.
Right.
So I think it was perfect because guys from like South Sudan could now just inbox us on Facebook and we would start the conversation. By the time they are coming, everything is mostly done. It's just to pay and sign up and do. It was brilliant. And I saw this again. Riara University was also a client of mine a while back during COVID when we were transitioning now from full class, to online classes. And that's when they had just gotten me. And we had the biggest intake until that point, because of being on digital platforms. And it's different. And I know now guys are taking it more seriously. Back then, it was not. I don't know why guys had still not tapped into it. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So what's then the next big shift for you at Kemu? Because I know at some point you leave, of course.
I leave.
Yeah.
So I leave. They transfer me to Meru in marketing department.
They allow you back to Meru.
Yeah, they're telling me to now move from Nairobi campus to Meru campus. I resign. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny that somehow life tried to fix me to go into marketing very earlier on, and I kept refusing
Yes.
because they've transferred me to marketing, which was insane. Of course, Meru is crazy, but you see, Meru would have been closer to home. Meru is very close to Nanyuki.
Right.
I was like, no, I'm not going there. But even for medical reasons, it wouldn't have made sense because my doctors, everything was in Nairobi. So I tried to fight it, ikakata. I resigned.
Do you have a backup plan? Do you have savings? Do you have an emergency fund? Anything by the time you're resigning?
No.
So what was the plan?
See, I'll just keep applying for jobs and I'll get one. And then I'll fix computers, I'll do all these things on Facebook. So I did that and it sustained me for a while. But it was not enough. But I kept trying and trying. And pretty soon I figured out I was not the employment type. You figure it out. Because life keeps trying to teach you a lesson. And if you're refusing to teach it, you keep going back to the same circles. The same circles, yeah.
So is this where the second startup comes from?
No, the second startup is way later. The second startup is 4 years later. This is 2017, 2016, 2017, yeah.
Okay.
2017.
So at that point, do you get back? So you'd say you find out your employment's not for you.
Yeah.
So, and at this point in time, you're making money by fixing computers and like odd jobs here and there. Are you making? And you said you're not making enough. So are you just meeting like?
I'm just bare minimum.
What were your costs at that point? Apartment, doctor.
Wait, where was I living? Was I on Thika Road? I think I was on Thika Road. I think I was still on Thika Road. So my rent was like 12 Gs or 10 Gs, something like that, 12 or 10 Gs. So that would have, it's that at least we can figure out. My costs were not that big.
Right.
Doctor's appointments only when I could. Yeah, but then we're just bare minimum, which is very scary because I feel like that's how most people in Nairobi live. It's just enough to get by to the next day and then just enough to get by to the next month. And gosh, that is... But I do this for that. I think your 20s is when now you can do all that shit. You can do that with kids.
It would be difficult.
You cannot, because kids don't know those things. Kids want to eat. Kids want to go to school, pay your bus, nini, all these things.
Yeah.
But it was a very interesting thing. So in 2017, I think 2016, 2017, I joined an NGO.
Okay. And sorry, at this point in time, have you pursued the CIM?
No.
Not yet?
No. I did CIM in COVID.
Okay.
So
you do this for 2 years?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do it, 3 years. I do that.
Your bare minimum.
Bare minimum. And then I joined an organization that's still paying me bare minimum. Yeah. I think they were paying me 27 Gs.
Right.
Yeah. But then it was fulfilling work. But I think I joined it because I think I was promised better pay. You know how they join too after 2-3 months to tuone kazi yako and then
we'll add.
Yeah. No. They did not. But yeah, so I joined it was called Liwa. It was linking industry with academia. Yeah, something like that. Brilliant organization. I met everyone who is everyone. So basically they would just link, TVETs. I used to work with a lot of TVETs. And then you link them to through the German embassy and Polish and all these sorts of embassies and how they get into the job market. It was such a brilliant concept, to be quite honest. But it was run by academia folks, so it was just professors. So it was a different sort of scope.
Okay.
So I joined Liwa and I do a few things there. Still struggling. This time I've moved to Kino. I'm paying, I think, 15 Gs of rent. And that's
the next thing. So around this time, I'm assuming is where startup number 2.
I do startup number 2, yes, and startup number 3 with the same people. So it's still a technology company, but an engineering one.
Okay.
Engineering tech company. So because we saw a gap in the market, and it made sense for a while. But then again, I don't know, man. I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned in my founding startups journey is make long-term goals with long-term people. Because I think sometimes we make long-term goals with short-term people. And you have to pray to God that you have discernment to know who is a short-term person and a long-term person.
Right.
Yeah, because while those people are still my friends till date, that was not my path. I don't know. I think I was forcing issues.
It was their path, but not yours.
Yeah, it was their path for sure. Because them, they were full-on engineers. They were deeply in it. I wasn't in it. I think that's also the wrong thing with founding a company to make money.
Right.
You can never create an organization with a goal of making money. Money is a byproduct of you,
right.
of you making, of you healing a pain point.
Right.
But if the pain point is after the money, you're in for trouble.
So do any of these, does startup 2 or 3 work?
Yeah, they have 1 to 3 things. They have a job here and there. Nothing big.
Right.
But it was feasible. That it's just that, it was just short-term people.
Okay.
Yeah, long-term goals.
You mentioned you moved back home twice. At this point in time, have you moved back home?
I moved back in this was the first time I moved was when? 2015. Thereabout.
In between the chemo and the freelancing stuff?
During the freelancing.
At some point you moved back
Yes, I moved back home. But even before moving, I moved back home so that I can move to Kilifi. So that I can move to Coast.
Okay.
Because a friend of mine is doing
tenders.
Again. And there's nothing we won't do. So I live in Coast for a year. Just hustling. Again, bare minimum.
Trying to get tenders.
Yeah. We got tenders, but I never got paid. Nilirukwa. Yes, I'm telling you.
Right.
But again, your 20s are for this.
What were the tenders for? As someone who has never participated in any
The
tender.
ones we had were for repairs. So we had tenders for repair for tractors.
Yes,
and I remember we even traveled to Nakuru and Eldoret, where most of these big tractors are made, where most of these big tractor companies come to. And so that's where you have to source most of the parts. So you can go to it's called CMC. Yeah, you can do CMC in Nyandia, but we didn't find most of the parts. We were told to go to Nakuru because that is heavy agricultural, places.
Right.
So we sourced for Ninis, we got them, Nini, all those things.
How much are the tenders worth? Do you remember?
It was 7 figures. Yeah, I think it was almost 3 million. Yeah.
For both of them, or for the different tenders. Yeah. Okay, that's the first time you moved. That was the first time you moved.
So I moved. Home. I moved home. Then I moved to Kilifi.
Okay.
I moved home. Then I moved to Kilifi.
And the second time?
The second time.
Or we haven't got to where the second.
Oh no, it's 20 now. After when I'm working with the
NGO.
NGO, yes.
Right.
After that, I moved home.
Okay.
So it got so crazy. It was too much. It was just too much. And also, at home, my folks were really going through it. So my mom had moved out far. So I decided to move to her just in case, because I was like her mental space was not very well. So I moved to her just to see if maybe I could be able to mitigate. Gosh, what a bad decision. Child becomes parent. Sometimes that can ruin you. So I was like, so I moved back home and I stayed home for a year. I decided to restructure things. So I sat. That was the first time now I had the epiphany that I was fighting life. And life kept trying to root me into a marketing thing. Yeah, so then I think COVID hits when I'm in shags.
Okay.
Yeah, and my shags is not these shags that you guys make fun of, Kikuyus. You're like, your shags, you just go
you have
here.
Electricity, you have
Yeah. No. Oh no, I was back to herding goats, milking goats, herding cows. It was like a full-on ushago. Ushago, I couldn't TVs doing it. It was a proper ushago. So I moved to shags. I fight it, and it's not good for my mental space. Because when you're fighting life, you cannot fight life. You know what they say? The house always wins.
Yeah.
The house always wins. So one day I wake up and I'm so pissed and I say, Sawa, this is where life has put me. I'm going to do this. Me and my software engineering degree, we're in shags, we're herding goats, we're milking cows and milking goats. Sawa. Then whatever lesson it is I'm going to learn here is I'm going to learn it. I'm going to, I got tired. I was like, listen, if this is where life wants to place me, then I'm here. So I shift now my perspective and I start doing everything to the best of my ability. So if it's herding cows, I'm there singing with my shots. I'm like, this life, f*** it. Yeah. Now you're going to get tired of disappointing me.
Yeah.
So I do everything na roho moja. So everything started thriving. The cows are giving birth. The goats are giving birth. Sometimes, anything that has blood and water and then it has life.
Yeah.
So things start thriving. So but I say, at some point, life has to get tired of disappointing me. So I shift my perspective. And then I start now trying to figure out where I come from.
I want to ask you something before you go too far, because I want to ask, you've talked about life disappointing you. What is it that you wanted from life that you kept being
I
disappointed?
wanted a break. I wanted to not go back home. I was tired of just struggling. You see that, Nini? Just you're making just enough to keep your head afloat, and then it's like you're breathing. Kidogo tu, then water overwhelms you.
How much do you have at that point between you and, as I say,
Zero.
Bele and you?
I probably minus.
Yeah.
I am heavily in the minus because I still have hospital bills. Nini, I don't have loans, but I don't have many friends, but I'm sure the few friends I have borrowed money for medication. And they know, these are people now who know for a fact.
And this
that
is
I need meds.
2019.
This is 2017. 2017.
Okay. No, but because you said COVID hit, because this is
COVID. Oh, yeah, after Liwa. Yes.
because this
after
was
Liwa.
with
2020. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so now I'm at minus. So
Yeah.
I'm at minus. I don't know what else to do. I even went, I'm in Shags. Who took me? My mom takes me to go see a herbalist.
A herbalist.
Yeah. Because I can't.
Because of the medication?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't afford Nini. But also because they still don't know. They've still never tried to understand what's wrong with me.
Right.
So they're like, Apana, let's just start. I say, I'm not starting this journey again. So we go to some doctor guy who but then he's brilliant. For some reason, you'll always have one person in Gachago who is like a weird doctor. Like maybe he was a nurse and then he's like, listen, I know better. So he was like that. Interesting. And he introduced me to something called licorice. Licorice is just
The sweet.
No, now there is the actual licorice plant that is put in tablets.
Right.
And interestingly, that helps me. It helps me. I was so shocked because I was like, oh my God, I thought this was bullshit.
Yeah.
Kwanza, the minute he went to some kabak office and mixed like 15 dawas in one syringe to inject me, I was like, I'm dead now. Guy, this is how my story
Why are you
ends.
taking the injection though? Like in that minute, in that
It's
moment.
a doctor. And then it's for some reason, and it's a shanty, but it's like a shack.
Yeah.
It's a shack on the road. But people travel everywhere to go to this
come
guy.
to this guy.
Ay, bana. Like there's so many cars parked outside here. I'm like, okay, so my mom, she said, I have gone to him because my mom had asthma. He has these injections. And I think for everyone, he dungas the same thing, which is wild to me.
So it's like a super drug.
Hey, my God. And it's a mix. Nani dawa, none of it, that kind of thing, that kind of vial.
Yeah,
He mixes like a ton of vials into one thing.
Yeah.
Then he injects you. And for a second, you feel better. The injection hurts like a bitch.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh my gosh, for the first time, I actually have some sort of relief. So I was like, anyway, he died though.
That's
He
unfortunate.
was poisoned.
Oh no.
Yeah.
By someone.
By his second wife. Yeah, they don't watch this, my second wife.
Oh no.
I know. And he was brilliant. Ulikuwa unataka unapata magari kubwa hapo nje kwake. You're like, kwani what medicine man is this? Yeah. And then he was a cultural doctor. So he ignited me figuring out where I come from. So he would sit and ask my mother, who are you? So these cultural people, apparently there's a way you're not supposed to marry. If you're the first one in your family, so you should not marry who is the first one in another family. Like there's those older people had many rules.
Right.
So he's one of those.
Okay.
So he was trying to figure out why I'm unwell. So he did all those things. And then in that whole mix, I figured out where I come from and what my people used to be good at. And my people were good at comms, communications. And they say DNA has memory.
Yes.
So I've never struggled with marketing communications, never. And that was the reason. But I kept running away from it.
Right.
So in my own way, I got my own epiphany where I was like, oh God, this is where life has been trying to calibrate me to go to. And I keep fighting, saying, I want to do IT, I want to do software, I want to do this. But life has been redirecting me like this non-stop. And I refuse to listen in anipiga kiboko.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where, is that where you make the
That is
decision
where
now,
I
okay,
have
now
the
I'm gonna take
paradigm
it?
shift.
Right.
Yeah. So that's where now I'm like, no. now I need to. Now I'll do it. So my friend opens a butchery. Well, I'm still in Nanyuki. He opens a butchery called Zulu Meats in
This is cool. This is deep. This is proper COVID, right?
Muthiga. Yes, in Muthiga. I didn't even know where Muthiga was. He opens a butchery in Muthiga. And he asks me, since you're Nini, you might have some free time, so you manage this for me. Hey, I managed the shoot out of that butchery. That butchery, come to see photos of it. It was so small. I don't even know what to call it. It was smaller than this room. It was a very tiny butchery. I got that butchery to where it was making about 70K a day. Yeah. From my mother's house in Nanyuki. Yeah. So I do brilliant
What are the things that...
First of all, I move it from being a regular butchery. I create something called meat packs. So if you just have a very strict budget, then I'll get you something. So I have a meat pack for 1,500, for 3K, for 5K, for 10K. So all you do is say, indo budget yangu, unapelekewa delivery. So ina reduce, first of all, the headache of, nataka naini how much, nataka naini. So it reduces that. So now we have meat packs. So all you do is order for a meat pack, it goes to you. Then, because we used to do choma and mutura, we make mutura cool in Nairobi. I send influencers a ton of mutura. By then, influencer culture had not even really hit kabisa. So I sent akina Patricia Kihoro, akina Adele, akina Nani. So everybody's talking about mutura from Zulu Meats in Nairobi, on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. We make mutura very cool. Then nyama choma. So then I'm like, but now not everyone can go to Modega to have nyama choma. So I call, is it EABL? I call EABL and I ask who is the closest supplier of like pombe in Modega. So they give me somewhere called Tembotamu, something like that, as their wholesaler on that side. So I create now meal packs for 1,500 and another one for 1,000 bob. So for 1,000 bob, you get a kilo of choma, a starch, and 2 beers. And this is delivered to your office. Because guys now had started going back to the offices. This is delivered to your office. So we used to call it documents. So it was hilarious. And then the 1,500 one had kuku choma. And intentionally, it was only Thursday and Friday. Because for us, FOMO was a very big tool. So ikiisha, imeisha. So everybody used to
You
wait
until the next.
and even pay in advance for Thursdays and Fridays meals. Because 1,000 bob for choma and beer, where it's crazy. And it's being brought where I am. That was brilliant. It was so big that EABL now approach us for a contract. And 3 people now want to franchise.
There's now Zulu Meats.
Oh, yeah, they want to franchise in Langata's Wapi.
Right.
It becomes big.
Right.
Then the guy one day wakes up and takes away my rights to socials. That was the beginning of his downfall. Oh, yeah, he died very quickly after. The business died very quickly after.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting because I think I remember seeing, I definitely remember seeing Zulu Meats somewhere on social media
it
at
was
some point.
Bananas.
So
It was
after, first of all, is there an official payment arrangement between you and
nice. I think he used to pay me like 6 Gs a week.
or whatever it was?
Yeah, 6 Gs a week.
So he removes you from socials and then...
So he thinks
Yeah.
what I'm doing, someone with a bigger following will do better. I don't know who told. That is like, boy math is wild to me.
I don't know whether it's boy math, but...
I was founder math. It's founder math.
Yeah, okay.
It is crazy. But this time, by the way, I moved to Nairobi. I moved back to Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes. So
Where
I
you getting,
started
where you
in
getting the money? Where you
Nanyuki.
getting the money to come back to Nairobi?
I moved because I discover I'm good at socials. So I uptake clients.
Okay.
So I uptake, but it's cheap. It's like 15K a month social media management gigs.
right.
But I'm able to move back to
Okay.
Nairobi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how quickly does Zulu, just for my own curiosity, how quickly does Zulu Meats shut down?
Oh my. So this is, let me tell you, the person that they hire within day 4 starts DMing me. Kwani, what were you doing to make these things run? So they're being stressed by the guy because it's like, if this one was doing it, mbona wewe uleti vitu mpya? You forget it's not really about who has a bigger following. It's more so of who can do what, who has what source. Everybody has their own source.
Right.
Mine was in how I was handling this business. So I think, I don't know what the thought process was
Yeah.
there. It was because he didn't even fire me. He just took
He just took the...
I went morning to do my
password.
work and nothing. Then he refused to pay me. And then it caused this whole hula baloo, and it was funny.
Yeah, that's a crazy way to
Yeah.
let someone go. Just remove yourself.
Imagine. At you nini. Like, and then we were childhood friends. This is what's crazy. Like we used to use the same van in primary school.
Yeah.
So it's funny. It's crazy to me.
Anyway, okay. So you come back, you have a bunch of clients, you're doing social media management. I want to get to the point where you decide that you're going to
go
take
to
on
school.
CIM. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
how you because it's not cheap either.
No.
So how do you afford it?
At this point, I'm moving with now, who is my husband. Moving with him. We've had our first daughter. He tells me he used to
So
work
I'm
for
assuming
CIM.
all through this period, you're meeting, you're
dating.
talking, you're dating, you're like...
No,
okay.
meeting. We didn't date for long. We moved in. It was a financial decision to move in together.
How long did you
was-
date for?
It was, I think, like 2 months or some weird shit like
And
that.
then...
Oh, yeah. It was a financial decision. We're like, Sir, first of all, we found out we had like 3 clients in common. So we keep dividing the monies. Unalipwa yako, no, unalipwa yako. But we have to collaborate because he's in design and web, nini, and I'm in marketing. So we're like, Sasa, so we just shikana, we shika a better house. But then your relationship, to a degree, has to be a financial decision. It has to make sense.
It
Everything
does.
it does has to make
It
sense.
does. It does. Okay. So you move in together. Okay.
We got our first daughter. He used to work for CIM when CIM was in Kenya, apparently. There's a time CIM was in Kenya. They didn't have the study centers, but they were in Kenya somehow. So he talks to me about it, and then he's like, he calls someone at CIM. He's like, can you explain to her what CIM is? I was thinking of either doing CIM or something called through DMI, some Digital Marketing Institute in Ireland. So I decide CIM is better for me because CIM is the top strategy in the world. It's top strategy. So I look for a study center. I find ISA, start CIM. I am telling you, uzuri wa CIM is that you don't pay like kimoja. You pay in phases. That's how it allowed me to afford it. One semester is 6 months. One course is 6 months. You have to do 3 courses as CIM level 6. And it has multiple levels.
Right.
Depending on your experience, you depend where you start. Some guys start at level 1, level 4. I started at the highest, which is level 6 for digital, because of my experience.
So far, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
So how much would it
started
cost
doing CIM.
averagely between to complete the whole program?
I can't even remember, but it's hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands. Yeah, especially depending on study center. Because CIM, you pay for your membership, annual membership. You pay for your exams in pounds straight to them. Then you now have to pay for the school, for the study. You have to pay for books. You have to pay everything. It's quite intense, which is now funny because I teach AI for CIM.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's when you sort of decide to start. You're still managing clients at that point. Is that when now Minty Lime
Minty Lime is
born?
Yeah.
Okay.
Minty Lime is born.
Where because it seems like to some degree your financial journey changes or begins to take a different trajectory. Do you remember the moment that you began to feel like, okay, now maybe we are making some headway?
It was when we took up our first client who was now paying 60K a month. That was like, at that point, this is 2021. This is Pioneer Insurance. 60K per month. That was the first time I was like, wow, okay, I think we might be making something. So if you combine that with like 2-3 more clients, you're able to start making money. But then now you're living so far from your employees, from your employers, quote unquote,
Right.
you are losing opportunities. So like, I remember we were called for a meeting in Riara and we were so late because of traffic from Ruaka. that stretch that is normally these days.
Right.
It's crazy. So we move. I moved to where my clients are. I moved to Kilimani. So now that is when now everything opens up.
Right.
Yes.
So the move to Kilimani from Ruaka again was a financial decision.
It was a financial decision.
What does it? What's the change in your rent when you're moving from Ruaka to
massive.
Kilimani?
Ruaka was 40 Gs.
Yeah.
It was like 40 Gs a month.
Yeah.
So now in Kilimani, I was paying 75.
So it's a bit about double, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was not looking for, we were looking for like a 50K
Yeah.
house. Then we were like, no, we didn't like anything. So we found a house. And we're like, now we have to work. We have to work. Because now, our daughter now is starting school. Taking her to Makini. Now we have to like figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is where now, I guess we started this conversation with where you're talking about
Kids.
the opportunities and the drive that comes
yeah.
as a result of being in this position. And there's, I think it was a podcast or something that I was reading that was talking about, and there was this guy who is a pretty successful, wealthy person, and he was talking about sometimes when he feels like his life is getting too comfortable, he does something to just get himself out of a comfort zone. Like he can go and take a loan, even if he doesn't need one, but just so that
pressure.
Yeah, so that pressure of having to pay this thing back just, pushes him to
I'm
keep
also
working.
that way.
Yeah, so I was just curious about this situation of yours where now you're living in a space where maybe if you look at it technically, you can't afford it.
Yeah, fully, you can't.
Yeah. But what does that do for your drive and your ability to make money?
Oh, insane. Because this is the thing, and it annoys my partner. Whenever, like, I want something, and then it's like, no, you save for it. I'm like, I'll make more money. I'll just go buy and I'll make more money. And I'll pitch nonstop until I get, like, another big client. And I'm like, see, told you, I'll make more money. I don't know. I don't have this thing, like, where people are like, okay, sawa, let's move, let's subsidize, I don't do that. I'm like, I'll make more money. I'll just look for extras and I'll look for that extra until I make more money.
Yeah.
And it's worked. It's worked because, thank God, I'm in something that I understand very well and I'm in something that I love. I think that's why it has worked. I also don't recommend it. Ati move to Kilimani, pesa itakufuata.
Yeah.
No. For me, it's worked because it made sense. And I noticed all my clients were within that area. My clients all either live within the same place or at least close to. They want, when they say, can we meet in 10 minutes up IV Lavington? They want you to go there. And this is a client who's paying you what, say, half a month? You have to go. So I had to, it was a very financial decision for us to move. We had to move to where the money was.
Okay. When do you begin to realize that the move has worked financially? What's the gig that you get that you're like, okay, I guess this move has paid off or is paying off?
Yeah, I think what is first of all, people started treating us differently, which is a very human and sad thing to do. If you notice, you're treated differently depending on the car you're driving. If you have a MacBook or not, which is wild to me. But when you show up with a MacBook somehow, nowadays it's different. But a while back, everybody was like, oh my gosh, they know what they're doing. No, maybe not. It's just a MacBook. But I think when people now would like see us, where do you guys live? Then it would shift perspective. With especially the older people for some reason. I don't know. It was a very weird thing. And also the fact that we look different. Like for him, he has locks. I have a nose ring and locks. So that would always like interest people. Because they're like, okay, nyinyi watu creative mnakaanga hivi. So you must be good at what you do. So yeah, and then also now when we started, you could pay fees without stress, you could pay rent. You move to a bigger house. I got my second daughter, got another car. Like then I'm like, okay, sawa, I think now something is working. But then I'm also not someone who celebrates wins. I don't know why, but I think they're just people like me. So for me, I'll set a goal. Like I'm the one who sets goals for the company. I'll set a goal and I say, sawa, we need to get to making, say, $1 million per month. We get to that $1 million. We've even bought like expensive wine in you're gonna celebrate. Then that issues very quickly. I'm like, now we get to 3 million a month. Then I'm like, that's evil. So I'm always like almost chasing the next one.
Right.
To where I don't breathe this one.
Right.
Because I also know how bad the economy gets. I also think I'm horrifically scared of poverty. Horrifically. So it never maybe gives me that chance to breathe whenever I can actually breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so it seems like your financial success, so to speak, has been it's like a short journey, but it's been very exponential. Like between 2021 to 2025 seems like worlds apart.
Yeah, from 2020 to now, it's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like a specific... But on the way you lose. But then I'm someone, I make this joke nonstop. I have a department of failure in my organization where all we do is test case scenarios and test ads for what will fail. Because I want fast to fail very quickly so that it's not an expensive failure. So I'm someone who really I prefer failing fast because then I'll be able to adapt and learn very quickly. So because of that, I'm able to avoid very expensive failures because I chase the failure fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And then you mentioned, then meeting with the financial consultant just last month.
Yeah. Imagine.
In these, when you begin to make this money in these 3 years, what's happening with the money that you're making? Do you know where it is? Do you know where it's going?
So we are able to, I have like a Sanlam account. You're able to do small things, but you're not able to do the bigger things, right? So you're able to maybe facilitate people here. You're able to hire Nini, but I've not even been able to hire until, when was it? This is the first year where I've hired multiple digit people in the companies, consultants, because everybody's still doing their own thing. But I can't even tell you. I sat with Val and then we did a calculation. Have you ever done a calculation for how much you spend in a month?
Yes.
Especially for a household with children.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you're like, what? How? First of all, I make this much.
Yeah.
So that's what
So
happened.
before it was just there's money in the account and you pay and you move on.
Oh yeah, and you pay and you move on.
And then you put money, you talk about a Sanlam account, you put money somewhere,
you
you put some money.
Yeah, but nothing concrete. There's no structure. There's nothing concrete to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What triggered you to have this conversation last month?
Because I'm not a finance person. I dropped business in Form 1. So I didn't care for, understanding the whole... I noticed I couldn't understand accounts earlier on. I'm not I'm good at math, but I'm not that good at math. And I've taken several courses, Coursera, Nini, trying to understand. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is too complex. I can't. So I found Val. She could explain money in ways that make sense to me. So I was like, I'm going to talk to Val. I'm going to pay for her sessions. And I met Val and we talked and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So she created a plan where I think with even 50K, 100, 200K, in 15, 20 years, you could end up with something like 300 million or something of the sort on investments and bonds and all these other things. And I was like, that's what I need. Because I want financial, what do you call it? I want financial freedom. Even if I work, I'm not working at it because I need to. It's because I want to.
Yeah.
So that was why I wanted to see Val.
Okay, so it was because you finally found someone who could speak to you
in a way I understand money. Yes,
it.
because previously everybody's stuck up and they're like, here, sijui dividends, sijui balance, where I'm like, what? It's bold of you to presume I know what you're talking about. Bold of you to presume I know. But she was she brings it down. She's able to break it down in a way that you understand. Kabisa.
Yeah.
Where every cent is coming from and where it's going.
Yeah.
And she also now further made the point that money, you see the way money is a spirit, money is fluid. Money will move. Money will move whether or not you want it. So the best thing you can do is be the one who directs it where to go.
Yeah.
But as long as you have some liquid cash, it always moves.
Yeah.
Money is not meant to stay. Money moves. So the best thing you can do for yourself is direct where it's going to go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of your financial losses? You talked about wins and losses and you have had losses or downs, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Losses. Let me see. Oh, first. In Coast, I got auctioned.
You got auctioned?
Oh, yeah. I was sent for auctions. I was sent for auction. First of all, I didn't even have shit, so I don't even know what they got auctioned.
This is for a debt.
Oh, yeah. For rent, because I was late to rent.
Yeah.
I think for 2 months. And then they sent auctioneers. And they had my deposit for 3 months.
Yeah.
This is one of those places that you pay 3-month deposit. So I think that was one of my most scary Like I was really scared at that because I had cost.
You have no one to call.
No
to-
one.
How did you get out of the situation?
I called my dad. Apparently, we have a relative who is an OCPD or somewhere. Yeah, but then it was such a bad situation. I was like, no. But that was my first case
Yeah.
with the auctioneers. That was really, really
First
crazy.
case.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
had
Oh,
multiple-
no, I've not had another one.
Oh,
Thank God.
I was
But
gonna
that was
say-
my first encounter, my
Yeah,
first and only
yeah.
actual encounter. Because you hear these things.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I met auctioneers. Hey, some
not fun.
crude fellows.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Okay. That's a terrible one. Do you
Yeah.
have anyone that's more recent?
Money-wise, I think we lose money. I took so for the first time, I play around with loans. 2024 or 2023? I think 2023. I play around with loans. I did not understand interest rates.
You didn't understand interest
No.
rates. I'm trying to comprehend that.
I know.
statement.
I'm telling you, like there are people who just don't understand
Okay.
money.
Uh-huh.
But also, you see that thought of see, I'll out earn it.
Yes.
I'll just make more money. Don't do that. It was such a bad. I took money. I think I got my, not this car that I have now, the previous car. I got it financed 50%. So 50% cash. I could have paid fully in cash. I didn't. So someone told me that I need to build, is it credit? It's called credit.
The credit score.
Yeah, you build credit
Yeah.
by taking loans.
Loans,
And then, so I took,
And you pay back to prove that you're a good.
hey, let me tell you. We did the calculations for how much the bank would have made out of me taking that loan. It was like almost 1 point something million. Imagine.
For
oh yeah, for
how much was the
the car was 5 million, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
5 million. 4.5, something like that. So I had the money. So I paid 50% and then the bank financed 50%. Yeah. So, my gosh, I was like, never again. They sent me, after 1 year, sikushindania sana, until I decided to look at those documents. Then I saw how much is actually servicing the loan per month, how much is interest. It was like 50-50. I was like, what? Yani, I'm paying 40K to service the loan.
20K is going to interest, 20K is going to
35K is interest.
Mm.
You see, now that's what I mean by breaking down interest. Because you see, now that makes sense to me, as opposed to a
So
percentage.
you're only reducing your loan by 5K.
I was like, nijikute. Paid for it fully. I went and said, never. Can you imagine? So by 1 year, I still owed the
Just
same amount.
5,000 times 12, 60K. 60K less of what?
Can you imagine? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, it's how it, it's how it
I
works.
didn't know that.
You have to make a payment and tell them this take out on principle.
Let me even make it worse. Apparently, you can negotiate interest rates in banks.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Val is the one telling me, why did you take this? It was like 22%. She's like, 22%? You should have negotiated. I'm like, people negotiate. I was so shocked. I didn't know that. But I was like, never again. So, never, ever, ever. Ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you have a plan and you have, I guess, a better scope, a better
Scope.
understanding. Yeah. So where are you looking to put some, for what you can share, where are you looking to put some of your
Oh, no,
investment
we
now?
have. So I have, so she told me, so I got off Mansa. X. She told me, she showed me how to do to build a portfolio. So she was like, the first 5 guys, the first top 5, there's Vanguard, BlackRock, Lightrock. There's just a few of them that you can invest in and, you can hold and then you just observe it every morning. Tesla, Nini, the usual things that you expect are going to be key, NVIDIA. So she showed me how to do all that and invest in that. Then I also get into a little bit of crypto as well. My brother has tried to get me into crypto for so long. I opened a Coinbase account, Binance, Nini. Didn't play around with it until recently. Then, of course, MMF. I'm heavy into MMF. So we built a 6-month, a 6-month emergency fund for the business and a 6-month emergency fund for home. Then at least from that point, then you start, either you send money to her to invest for you or you invest for yourself, she showed me, and also infrastructure bonds.
Yeah.
So it's just, now at least I get it. Before you just
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, thank you so much for coming on to Financially Incorrect.
Thank you. Thank you
so
for
much
having
coming
me.
and being vulnerable enough to share some of this stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm sure someone is going to learn from this and take something. So, final thing you want to say to anybody?
Yeah, I think be curious. Be curious. If you're in your 20s, Aki, just be curious. Try anything and everything. Your losses in your 20s are very cheap. But that's the perfect thing and the perfect time to learn this. Don't wait to do this shit in your 30s. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
So do all those trials, open companies, try anything that you want to try in your 20s. Then in your 30s, at least you've found the one thing that sticks for you. You know, like how Beyonce, Sauti Sol, Bien, you need to find your thing. So you your 20s to find your thing. Rarely also is the idea you start with the one that makes you the money.
Yeah.
It's not the one that will make you the money. It's something else. And thirdly, do not open a company with the goal of making money. Money is a byproduct.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you will make lasting money. Otherwise, you're just wasting time. And the fourth thing, get a wealth manager.
Yeah.
Get someone who understands money. They will tell you where to hide your money smartly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for coming, and thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you guys next Friday on Financially Incorrect.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Asante.